Sup, dog? You feeling rebellious? You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Georgia playing Ole Miss. Excuse me, number 9 Georgia playing number 5 Ole Miss.
Them Rebels.
Ole Miss was actually ahead for most of the game, but it was in the fourth quarter that Georgia defense, they did not permit any more points. And their offense then pulled ahead. And so the Bulldogs beat the Rebels 43-35. That gave Ole Miss their first loss of the season.
RIP to the loss. But hey, a loss is good for me. I'll be here. Lane, you're still on my list, bro. Okay. Lane, call us. That was a good game, though. It was such a good game.
That was a nice one to watch.
But I think it's also a scary thing about Georgia is that you've seen Georgia kind of play the game of Boa Constrictor, of like they just kind of slowly just suffocate time of possession. They run the ball a lot, which they ran the ball this game and it was phenomenal. Their run game is just...
Yeah, they had nearly triple the rushing yards compared to Ole Miss.
Yeah, they ran the ball at will. But it's like, I'm used to Georgia kind of shrinking possession, out physicaling. The fact that Georgia was able to score 43 points should be a trigger for the rest of the SEC. Georgia really just kind of, they're like, okay, we'll go back and forth. We're going to go back and forth. But it's that thing I've mentioned multiple times about Kirby Smart in the fourth quarter is like, I don't know if it's their conditioning or if that's when they really turn up, but it's like he was almost like, oh, okay, we could have stopped him. We'll let him feel good. We'll let him feel good. And in the fourth quarter, he like suffocated them and took all the air out of the game and then was like, no, this is our game. And shout out to Gunner Stockton. He was throwing that ball. He took some hits. That is what you want to see. And that's the scariest part about this Georgia team. I do think they can compete and possibly win a national championship this year, as well as winning. Well, I don't know if they're going to beat Alabama in the SEC championship if it gets to that. You got Texas A&M. You got a couple of players in that, but it's like a thing of this is the Georgia that a lot of people expected it to be, starting year, but it just shows their resiliency. And Kirby has talked about how his players keep getting up off the mat and they don't give up. And you saw that in that. On the other side, Ole Miss did look pretty good for most of the game. They obviously were able to score. I think it was like every possession they had, they scored up until they got to the fourth quarter. But it's also like a thing of that quarterback. I think you start to see Georgia throw things at him that he wasn't expecting, and he started kind of questioning his decision-making and getting rushed, and that's when the sacks happened. So Ole Miss, Lane gonna lose 2 more, so you can go ahead and get to Florida. We already got the talent. You got a good schedule next year, so go ahead and come get this job, okay? Shout out to Georgia for that win, and that's that one.
That's that one.